Hey, property management friends, welcome back to This Week in PM. I'm your host, Jeremy Pound from RentScale. We've got an exciting announcement to make today and a special invite just for you as one of our viewers. Jen's here with us, and we're going to do a full year wrap up on our scoreboard before we make that announcement. That's the full year for 2024. As you know, she usually gives us a monthly scoreboard once a month, but this is our second annual wrap up. She'll be sharing our annual leaders, our full numbers for the year, and some of the trends that we're seeing. But in case you've missed it, while we're waiting for other friends to join us live, let's take a look at a recent highlight from a previous episode. You spend a lot of time with our clients. What were the aha moment? What did they learn from the event?
So the aha moment was the ChatGPT and training ChatGPT, your AI technology, to think like you would, to speak like you would, and how to input all of that information. I know you had a very detailed segment on that, but I think most of our audience looked at AI as you get what you're given. So going into ChatGPT and asking a question and trying to deliver prompts was kind of the basic level of it, and pulling that up on your web browser. But I think you took that into a new depth that people didn't realize was actually available to them at this time. So I think it opened up a lot of our sales team, the BDMs in the room. I think it opened up their mind to how they can use AI not to just replace the things that we're doing, but also enhance what they're doing to give them more time to sell.
Okay, it's good to be back at home. We had a great time in Las Vegas last week at the PM Systems Conference. As you know, we did a full preview of that event on our last episode with Wolfgang Kroski, and the event definitely lived up to our expectations and definitely exceeded our expectations in some other places. Now, if you weren't there and you have been not on social media for the last 2 weeks, I'd encourage you guys to go online, look for the photos, the shares, and the videos from the conference. There was a lot of fun, a lot of social events, some very unusual settings for sharing content. And we even had some great parties that we went to. I know we had one, which was really fun at the Trump Tower, RentScale, and it was just really a highlight of the week. But there was a lot of technology shared, a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts. And today, we're going to be talking about a totally different kind of event, focused on maybe the opposite of what the systems conference is for this industry. But I don't want to spoil the news too fast. So let's bring Jen on to share our annual business development scoreboard for the property management industry.
Hey everybody, thank you Jeremy for passing this off to me. We have a really exciting update for 2024 overall. This is a really cool thing for us to actually see as we come together and as a full year comes into focus for us. And this year, I am so proud of all of the members of our community, all of the owners who really dedicated themselves to growing their companies, because we signed over 3,500 doors as a community, which is absolutely incredible and is up from 2023. So in 2023, our community saw about 3,100 doors. Like I said, over 3,500, 3,570 to be exact. We saw some new leaders on the leaderboard this year and also some old leaders. So really cool, fun fact, anybody who has gone onto strategicpm.com and read the article about Shane Murray, he is at the top of our leaderboard for year number 2 with 253 doors. Next is Denver, Colorado, who was on the leaderboard last year, but wasn't number 2. So they were actually number 5. So they moved up this year with 198 doors. Atlanta, Georgia at 172, Salt Lake at 149, and Augusta, Georgia at 129. We are so proud of all of our BDMs, but these top performers are consistently doing different things that take them outside of really average and normal to what we call an elite level. If you look at these top performers, I think some of the commonalities between these people is that they're ready to get uncomfortable. Shay is constantly in scale clubs teaching people what he's doing and learning from others, but he is out there making himself uncomfortable. And that is something that we see in all 5 of these top performers. The other thing we see in all these people, practice. They're never done practicing. In fact, they show up religiously to Scale Club. They're ready to be held accountable, and they're ready to practice their craft. We always say that there is no basketball player or no football player that goes out onto the field or the court and just shoots free throws and scores touchdowns. It doesn't happen like that. They spend more time in practice than they do playing the games, and so do these leaders on our leaderboard. So it's a different level of commitment that we see with the rest of our community. Overall, all of our members, which is over 80 now, we've got average of 9 doors per month. And our top 50% of our community is average of 14 doors per month. So some really exciting numbers to report this year. I know a lot of owners that would raise their hand and say, hey, if I could add 14 doors of growth to my business in 1 month, sign me up. And we've seen some incredible results from some of the things that we've been doing with all of our business development managers this year. Our community overall was 94% to goal, which was also up from last year. And what that tells me is we got better at forecasting and hitting the targets that we actually forecasted for. We really got granular with everyone, took a forecast and helped them focus on what all the way down to weekly and daily activities that they had to actually accomplish and check off in order to hit those goals. So really got granular with the community this year. The last number on here, which is interesting, is the lead volume. So lead volume was actually down about 10% from 2023 numbers to about 7,000. I think a lot of that is attributed to we're really focused on targeting our ideal fit clients. You've heard RentScale say so many times, more clients you love. Well, we're targeting the right people, which means we're getting less leads, but we're converting more of those leads, as you can see by the total number of doors, and at a higher conversion ratio. So less leads, but higher conversions means more efficiency. So we're really proud of everyone in the community for achieving that. I think overall, as I look back at 2024 and Scale Club, there's a couple things that I want to remind you guys to do in your company, whether you're with RentScale or not. One, I already said it, but practice makes perfect. You have to get the reps in to get the results in. That comes straight from one of our coaches, Reese. He always says that, and practice this year in our community was actually up quite a bit. That was a huge goal of ours here at RentScale. The second one is outbound. Outbound is one of the biggest differences in those with consistently full pipelines and lots of opportunity versus the ones who don't have any leads and they're sitting back waiting for those leads to come in. And then the third one is winners like winning and they want to see where they're at. So that's why they're constantly showing up to Scale Club. They're constantly trying to be on top of this leaderboard. And I know some of them are really excited to have their picture shown on the monthly skill development. So can't wait to see what all of our BDMs do in 2025. And throughout this year, I will be back at you each month with a report on what's happening in our community. Now, Jeremy said that there was a big announcement that he and I cannot wait to make. And I know he's getting distracted often by bright, shiny things with this particular announcement. But before we dive into that, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Hi there. Did you know that RentScale hosts one of the largest communities of property management sales professionals in North America? Well, my name is Reese Register, and I'm actually a previous BDM and currently a scale coach here at RentScale. We provide over 20 hours monthly of teaching and training and accountability to make sure that our BDMs are supercharging their sales business through inbound, outbound, and allbound. So if you're interested in learning more about supercharging your business, go over to rentscale.com. We'll be glad to schedule a consult and see how we can help you transform your business today.
Great job on the scoreboard, Jen. Welcome back to the show. First time doing it live. That was exciting to see. I got a question for you. What are you working on these days, Jen?
Oh, Jeremy, I'm not working on anything. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing new going on over here.
That's not what we created this show for. There's definitely some new stuff going on. And I'm going to let you be the one to share it with the team. What are we doing in May?
I cannot believe it, Jeremy. I thought this was going to be all your announcement, but we got some really exciting stuff. Today, the purpose of the show is the strategic PM Summit announcements. And I know that both you and I are really excited about this conference that we're putting on in Fort Lauderdale. And not only is this a really exciting thing for RedScale, but we just love what we're bringing to the community and how we hope that this shifts and changes mindsets within the industry.
I mean, there's a lot of property management events, right? We just got back from one and we're going to more next month and the month after that. This is why we have the event calendar. What's going to be different about the Strategic PM Summit?
I mean, this is not going to be a property management conference, you guys. This is the business conference for property management entrepreneurs and executives. What is different about this is we don't really want to get into the weeds with you about maintenance. There's an awesome summit for that if you want to talk about maintenance. We don't want to get into the weeds with you about your pricing, whether it should be a tiered structure or whether it should be a flat rate. Really, we want to talk about high level business, how to leverage what you're doing, grow and scale your company. So this is the huge focus, and it will feel unlike any other conference you've been to within this industry.
That's right. This is a growth conference first, guys. It just happens to be a growth conference that we're only inviting property managers to. And we're going to invite some of our favorite speakers from the industry. Jen and I joked about us just actually having a conference that we'd want to go to for our own right, and then getting some good friends to come along and see it as well. So if you've read Strategic PM, if you subscribe to the magazine, if you come to the show, you know there's 5 pillars that we focus on in Strategic PM. And so our conference is going to be focused on those. It's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to have some of the brightest people, which we're about to share with you, come in and talk about vision and how you as an entrepreneur or an executive in a property management company can actually create a competitive advantage by having a strong vision. We're going to talk about strategy. How do you invest the right resources to grow? My favorite definition of strategy is that we as business owners all have unlimited options, yet unfortunately limited resources. And strategy are the decisions you make on managing those resources. We're going to talk about culture and teams. We're going to talk about how you can create a competitive advantage by creating a winning culture. We're definitely going to talk about marketing and lead gen. We've already actually sold out around 10% of this conference already, and we have an application as you go through. And one of the biggest challenges people are having is finding enough of the right ideal fit clients. And so we're going to bring in lots of modern ways to do that. And then, of course, we're going to talk about experience, and specifically experience for your owners that you bring on. Not just a tenant experience that I know the industry talks about a lot, although that will be important. We're specifically going to talk about how we create a transformational experience for our owners so that they never want to self-manage again, and they'll never let any of their friends do it either. So today, we want to give you our vision for the conference. We want to talk about where it is, where you're going to stay, how to apply, and we're going to talk about some of the speakers. But before we do that, and by the way, we can't tell you who the speakers are today because we're still finalizing them out, but we're going to tease a ton of these speakers for you today, and they're definitely bigger than anybody that you think we might be bringing in for this very intimate conference in Fort Lauderdale, which we're limiting to about 40 strategic entrepreneurs and executives in the property management industry. So Jen, what did I miss out before we get into we start spilling the tea on who we're thinking about bringing in? What else do you want to say about the event?
You know, this is something that we're going to have people apply for, which is a really different structure and strategy, but you're actually going to have to apply for this. You'll have a quick conversation with someone from our team just to make sure that you're the right fit. To be honest with you, we are not interested in wasting your money, and we know your time is probably even more valuable. So we want to make sure that anyone who comes to this has really a growth mindset and they're ready to grow and scale their company. And they've got the operational capacity to do so. Like I said, we're not going to be talking about how to be more efficient in maintenance or how you should better screen tenants. We're not even going to be talking about how you should be using AI in some of your communications. Although it may come up in a marketing conversation, that's not the focus. So I just want to highlight that again, because it is going to look a little bit different when it comes to having people apply and selecting the right crowd that is going to really leverage and appreciate the information that we're bringing to this. We will have day one will be all content. So lots of presentations from what I call keynote speakers across those 5 pillars that Jeremy just talked about. And then day 2 is going to be a workshop. It's going to be a lot more intimate. So we are only allowing 40 people to come to this event, 40 property management companies. So it's small, and it's meant to be a space where you can ask questions specifically about your business. And that is what day 2 is all about. So it's about talking to the experts in vision, strategy, culture, marketing, and experience, and asking them questions and how to apply those things into your business. We're also going to have a couple of PM specific. So think about people who lead in these categories within the PM space, and you're going to be able to chat with them about what they've done to change their company, again, when it comes to those 5 pillars. So we've got an awesome lineup, an awesome agenda for you guys. And I really think that you should be able to walk away with so many different ideas and add $200,000 in value and revenue to your business after just coming for 2 days.
We're really excited about this. I know a lot of people love to share, a lot of consultants in the industry. It's easy targeting for them to say, did you know that, more doors doesn't equal more profit in your company? And we totally get that. That's a great tagline. And we actually agree. This is why we focus on more clients you love. But I will say, when you have optionality, when you're attracting more owners and you're getting more demand, it gives you the ability to be more selective. And now you have the power to maybe charge a little more. You have the ability to enforce your policies, to charge more fees. You have the ability to replace the clients you don't love with new clients. And so, while I totally get it that it's very in vogue out there to basically say, look, more doors doesn't always equal more profit, I've yet to meet a business owner that doesn't want more opportunity. And that's what we're really going to focus on. So I'm going to attempt live to present my screen because we don't use StreamYard all the time like this. And I basically would like Jen to, hold on, as I find this, walk through the premise for what we're doing. Okay, see, I told you I was doing this live. I knew this was going to go bad. All right, so it's not coming up. I apologize. Oh, here we go. Let's just do the entire screen. Let's show you the magic, what we do here. All right, Jen, walk through the premise that we're offering to anybody who shows up here.
Yeah, so Jeremy and I sat down, we were like, hey, what would be absolutely insane? Like, what's one of the biggest, most insane things we could say to people that would get them to see how serious we are about what we're bringing and the energy we're bringing to this conference? And so the whole premise behind this is spend 2 days with us and add $200,000 in new revenue to your business over the course of a year. So again, we're going to be highly, highly focused on growth. And this is going to be something that you will see in the bottom line of your business after spending the 2 days with us.
And all right, as you see, it's May 15th and 16th. We did not do that. We're going to ask George, our producer, to drop in the comment, the strategicpm.com/summit link so that you guys can see that. As you can see here, there's an application form. We are going to want to talk to you. We're going to make sure that this is right for you. Because it is a high ticket conference, and we are spending a pretty penny on this. We are bringing in, 6-figure speakers to basically do this. So I will figure out how to stop sharing my screen, or yeah, there we go. Sorry, you guys are really seeing it all live. So that's the conference. That's the premise. If you'd invest 2 days to come to, let's just be honest, Fort Lauderdale in May, kind of doesn't suck. It's the privilege of being a business owner with ambition. You guys can come down, enjoy some great weather, and enjoy yourself. And we promise to spend around 6 figures or more on this event for you guys to just absolutely blow your mind. So enough teasing, Jen. We're not going to announce the speakers today because we feel like we've got more speakers that we're talking to than we can actually fit in. And I don't want anyone to hold any of that against us, but let's talk about the ideas, and let's basically talk about who these people are without mentioning names. So who's the first person that you're excited about talking about today?
So one of the people that I'm really excited that we're considering and in talks with is a favorite, let's call it brand of mine, and someone who took something that was incredibly simplistic, completely shook up the industry, and now is one of the most successful businesses in that space. So it's all about disruption. And to be honest with you, one of the reasons that I'm really excited about the possibility of this speaker coming in is not only does he have one of the hottest brands on the planet, but he parallels nicely over to property management in that I think a lot of people see it as a commodity of we're leasing, we're screening. We don't in our industry, but a lot of the people externally are like, just pick one. They're all going to screen the same. They're all going to lease the same, right? And he took something that was previously a commodity and made it something that was no longer a commodity, completely disrupted the space. And so I'm excited about the idea of him coming in and talking a little bit about one, how to get a premium for doing that, but two, why you shouldn't be afraid to shake up what everybody thinks they know in an industry. So that's a super exciting one that I think probably tops my list.
That's going to be exciting.
How about you?
Go ahead.
How about you? Which one are you most excited about?
I don't know about most excited, but I started thinking about vision, as a leader, and the vision for this conference is just, doing something bigger, being strategic, not settling for what the market gives you, which is something we talk about all the time. I'm thinking about bringing in a leader. I'm in an entrepreneurs organization. I know some of our clients are. This is a great group that is really about strategy, and it's about building a business that serves you, serves your people, and basically creates a bigger future, which is a big part of our vision. And I'm thinking about bringing in the coach that the most successful entrepreneurs that I know in EO typically prefer to work with. In fact, he owns a company of coaches in the Scaling Up organization. He is very popular on social media. He has built multiple brands himself, and some of the most ambitious leaders that I know turn to him to grow their company. And I'm excited about him coming in and talking about vision and not just settling for being average. So who else do you have on your list?
So I'm excited about someone who, Jeremy, I actually spoke with today. He has worked with companies like Chick-fil-A and Ritz-Carlton, and he talks a lot about customer experience, which anyone who's been following RentScale has seen our announcement about Genesis and creating those first 100 days and then your experience for your customers even after they become your customers. So as we're looking around and as we're trying to figure out who we want to speak and what the parallels are in property management, I know you and I really sat down and we thought, like, what are some of the best brands in the world who, not customer service, but who have really created a unique customer experience? And Chick-fil-A obviously comes to mind, Ritz-Carlton, Disney. So this guy has worked with some of those big companies. And I'm pretty excited to potentially bring him in and have him talk a little bit about how we might be able to look at our business a little bit differently and provide that next level experience that's really going to differentiate us and set us not just a leg above, but like stack all the legs in the world above what everybody else is doing. So I'm excited for him.
All right, hold on. I'm already thinking the budget's already blown. But if I'm going to level you up one more, which is maybe why we're not giving you all these names today, guys, because we got to figure out how to make this work for, again, a small room of people. There's going to be 40-ish people there, 40 companies for sure. And we're trying to bring in speakers that would not be available in a room this size so that you guys actually get access to them. So that is definitely a big part of this vision. So, but I want to level you up even one more, Jen. So everybody's talking about, hey, I just, I want to get more of the right leads. I want to have more power with my prospects. I want to have more optionality. I want to be able to charge more. I want to be able to, spend less time in the sales process and attract more of the right clients. So I'm excited about somebody we're talking to who is kind of the biggest deal on LinkedIn that we're seeing. He is known. If everybody talks about how are you using LinkedIn or content to grow, this person's name comes up over and over again. We're really excited about that. And the modern marketing, we talk about AI and technology and all these things. The one thing that we know is not going away is authority. And so I think we're bringing in potentially one of the biggest names in creating professional authority in your market. And I'm really excited to see how our audience is going to take that and see if they run with it. What do you got next?
Okay, so this is a fun one. I've seen the people, the companies that are on the top of our leaderboard. So the ones that I just showed, I'm not going to give away or name any names, but if any of you look up Shay and you see what company he works for, you will see a consistency amongst all of those people. They are creating content. And in fact, one of the people that I ran into last year, who now is on the leaderboard, so we ran into him last year at CalNARPM, and he said to me, he said, all I want to do for my business is create content. I want to stop selling. I want to stop being the business development manager, if you will. And I just want to create content. I want leads, right? And so he was like, I'm going to be on your leaderboard this time next year. And there he is. He's there. But do you know what he does? Content. That is where his focus is. He's focused on bringing in leads. So the next speaker that I'm super excited about is a master of lead generation through content. And we see it over and over and over again on the scoreboard. I'm going to shout out Mark Cunningham here because he gave me such an incredible opportunity to go down to his office and sit with all of his PMs for a day and learn about what he does. And Mark, as all of you know, is a content guru. He generates a ton of it. That generates a ton of leads. So when we thought about this next person, we were like, how do we teach PMs in the space to replicate what some of the biggest people and the best ones with the highest numbers are doing? And so we're bringing in someone, this speaker is actually locked in, that is going to help you master lead generation through content. She is absolutely incredible when it comes to helping smaller businesses tell really compelling stories through social media and all the different platforms. So I'm excited to share some of the stuff that we learned from her, because we've actually used her in RentScale as well, but that she's helped other businesses learn and grow from just from doing what she knows best.
Okay, I don't know if there's a 2-day event or a 2-week event based on all the speakers, but I will say we're really excited that everyone's going to be in the same room. That's the part of the small content. So we just came from the systems conference, which, by the way, out of the park, home run. Wolf and Paul loved it, but everybody got to just go see what they cared about. We are curating this conference to share with you what we think you need to strategically, and dare I say it, easily actually get that top line bump of at least $200,000. So some of you guys out there, that number may look way bigger, but we're just basically trying to set something that we think is just so obtainable with these speakers and these strategies that it's absolutely a no-brainer. So last thing I want to focus on, we got a couple more speakers that we haven't shared, Jen, but I just focus on the people that we're bringing in to talk about people, about culture, about teams. I know that, on my journey, and I think you may agree with this, we as leaders move from becoming individual contributors into leaders, into people builders, right? And you like to say, what is it? Culture eats what for breakfast?
Culture eats strategy for breakfast, which is so true.
Yeah. So we've got a male and a female speaker that are coming to talk about people and culture and teams. Why don't you wrap us up and tell us what we're going to be talking about there?
Yeah, so we're just really excited to talk about how you bring on the absolute best team members, but we're also going to talk a little bit about how you create a culture and how you create an environment, not just for your team members, but for yourself, around wanting to be at work and having conversations about how to foster happiness in the environment and how to make everybody's life better when it comes to the culture. So I'm really excited because this person has written a book. She's really how to create a life you love without having to leave your job. So I know there's a lot of stress in property management, both for owners, both for PMs, but she's just going to discuss how you love life and do what you love all at the same time. For those of you that saw, I made a post yesterday, and it was partly inspired by my conversation with her, because I'm like, you know, we should love what we do at work, and it should just be an extension of our lives. And if we don't, we probably aren't creating it and crafting it the way that we should. And if we're not doing that for ourselves, what's the likelihood that we're doing it for our teams? So we're going to talk a little bit about that, which will help with employee retention and just overall happiness in your office, which is going to help with your customer service and the way your customers feel about you and the retention of them. So, you know, I don't want to get too sappy, and we certainly won't, but culture is such an important piece of business that I think so many people kind of put to the back burner, and they're like, we'll get there when we get there, but we're going to really bring it to the forefront. And before you wrap up, because this could be my last opportunity, I also want to say that all these speakers are amazing, and I know we're going to learn so much from everything that they've brought and done in their businesses. And we intentionally wanted to bring that outside influence in so that it was a little bit different and we could really leverage what somebody else had done that worked. But we're going to take all of this stuff in one of the afternoons, and we're going to bring it home to property management. So not only are you going to get to hear these amazing speakers come and talk about how to bring ideas from outside the industry in, but we're going to bring in experts within the industry in, and we're actually going to bring this all down to our real life of property management. So that vision that you heard somebody talk about, how do we leverage some of those ideas in the PM space and use it to make our business better? That culture and those cool ideas about how we talk about doing what you love and helping your employees do the same. How do we bring that down to the ground? So while you'll have a ton of content, you'll get to hear from all these inspirational leaders, you're going to get to workshop and leverage this straight into your business so that you leave with a plan of exactly how to implement some of these things.
The plan is important to us. That's what we want you to leave with. So I know that you go to other conferences and a lot of people say, look, just take home one idea that you can implement or two ideas. That's not what this conference is about. While Jen and I do want to inspire you with some new ways of thinking about your business, we offered that $200,000 guarantee for a reason, because we are going to start by understanding exactly where you are, and we are going to create a plan that will unfold over 2 days so that you leave with strategic leverage things that you can do to get more for the resources you have out of your business. And one, have a business that's going to grow faster, but two, have a business that you enjoy owning and running more than you do today. And that's a big part of this focus. That's something that Jen and I talk about all the time. So let's talk about what this event's going to feel like. So you're coming to Fort Lauderdale in May. Yes, I apologize. I'm making some of you guys travel all the way to the East Coast, but I don't apologize for bringing you to Paradise in May, because it will be amazing here. You will be right by the beach. We are hosting this at the Tower Club. Some of you guys came to some of our events before. It is one of the tallest buildings in Fort Lauderdale, right downtown. I think it's on the 26th floor. It is overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. It is overlooking some of the most expensive real estate in Florida. They call Fort Lauderdale the Venice of America. It is the yachting capital of the world. You will be inspired. I can't think of a better place to work on vision in your business than to be inspired by a dramatic amount of wealth and beauty and just ambition that we will show you if you come to this event. So it is 2 days. These will be long days. We were inspired by an event that Jen and I recently went to that was pretty much from 9 to 6 every single day, and it was packed. You will be in a small room. Everybody will be going through most of the same content, although you will have a chance to break into small groups and speak to these experts one-on-one. So you can say, hey, I heard yesterday that you're doing X, Y, and Z. I tried that. It didn't work for me. Can you tell me what I might be missing? Or I heard that and I want to do that, but I'm lost. Where do I start? You're going to actually get that one-on-one information, and you're going to be building out a plan over these 2 days. So expect a mentally intensive event, but it is rent scale. So expect a fun edutainment event where we're going to be having a lot of fun. We're going to be laughing a lot. There will be surprises. You'll probably have some small intimate dinners on Thursday night so that you go home fairly early. I will say this, we are limited to 40 property management companies. Jen and I went out to the acquisition.com event that we shared with you guys in Vegas in December. the Alex and Layla Hormozi event. And I can't think of a better thing that I did than us going together. So we paid double. It was not a cheap event, but we got to hear it. And then we got to go to dinner together and we got to say, what are our questions? And then after the event, we got to say, what are we doing from this thing? So you can bring other strategic people in your company, key people. So we really want to reserve this to be the owners and the executives that are making big decisions in your company. I know that Renscale is known for sales mastery and our BDM events. It's not that you can't bring your BDM, but you should not just send your BDM. You should expect to get your money out of this company, out of this conference, that you leave making big decisions and big changes to your company. Otherwise, we failed you. So this is an event for leaders and executives in your company. It will be an amazing place. And we did it on Thursday and Friday for obvious reasons. If you want to bring your family, you want to stay for the weekend, it is a fantastic time to come to Lauderdale. So strategicpm.com/summit. We are offering you guys a discount until Wednesday. This is a premium event. This is going to cost much more than most of your industry conferences, but I promise you, all of that money is going into first-class speaking content and experience for you guys. So we are really going to create something that we may never be able to afford to do again, that everybody will be talking about. So I would encourage you guys to jump on this because, like I said, we announced it at the Systems Conference at our party at the Trump Penthouse. And then we told our friends over in the Crane community. And I think 10% of our event, maybe more, has already been applied to. So this will go fast. And we are trying to really reach out to a lot of people who don't typically go to the typical industry events. Maybe they're not involved in it. And we're really just bringing in, thoughtful, progressive leaders who really want to create not only an amazing business for themselves and wealth for themselves, but an amazing company that would attract great people, that allows the owner to then kind of take a step back and think a little bit higher level and to spend their time coming to conferences like the Strategic PM Summit. So Jen, anything else you want to say about the experience? I know we're the architects, just so you guys know. It's Jen and I. We're having constant arguments and fighting over what this thing's going to look like, but our vision is pretty consistent, but we're fighting to make it great for you. So what else do you want people to take away before we wrap up?
I think we've kind of said everything. Just want to reiterate that you will get money off until Wednesday, February 5th. After that, it goes up substantially. So I would encourage all of you guys to go to strategicpm.com/summit. George will drop that in the chat for you guys, and you'll also see it in some of our social posts. Follow Renscale, follow Strategic PM. That's another great way to get access to this. But apply before that price goes up by $1,500. It's not a small amount. So trying to infuse some good people who are really excited about this early on. And then after that, we will raise up that ticket price.
Jen, great job on the annual scoreboard. I don't know if we paid enough attention to that, but that was really exciting. So we'll cut that out. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Thanks for all the work you're doing on this. I'm going to do the event calendar so that everybody knows where to meet us. Why don't you go interview some more speakers and finalize this conference for us?
You got it. All
right. Great seeing you. Guys, I want to come back and show you the events we're going to be at that should be on your radar in addition to the Strategic PM Summit. By the way, I didn't think about what a tongue twister that was when I named it that, but as I keep saying that, I definitely get it. But before we do that, just a quick word from one of our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Strategic PM, the magazine for property management entrepreneurs and executives. If you go online to strategicpm.com today, you're going to find an entire website full of content written about your industry and by your peers. And it's completely free to sign up. Just go ahead and click on the create a free account right in the upper right-hand corner. When you click on that, not only can you create a digital account, but you can actually add your mailing address and we will send you a free 1-year subscription of the print magazine, which will be showing up in your offices every single quarter. So if you take a look inside the magazine, what you're going to see is that we are focused on growth. We've got 5 pillars of strategic PM: vision, strategy, culture, marketing, and experience. You're going to be seeing some great high-class content from some of the best thought leaders in the industry talking about the matters that matter the most to your business. So sign up for free today at strategicpm.com and look for the magazine in your office. All right, I hope you guys are getting some frequent flyer rewards or some kind of miles for this, because we're about to talk through what's coming up on us, and that is conference season. I don't know how we're going to get that whole event planned before May with all of these events that we hope to see you guys at. But as you know, when you get out of your office and you talk to thought leaders and you meet your peers, that's where the big ideas happen. So really excited to see you guys at our next event coming up in just about a month, February 26th to 27th. We're going to be at the North Carolina State NARPM Conference. Jen and I will be speaking there, talking about how you get more clients you love, and we're very excited about that. We always love our Carolina friends. After that is the big one. We're going to the NARPM Broker Owner Show in Colorado, which we're very excited about. March 24th to 26th, we will be in Colorado Springs, and we'll be actually speaking at that event and running a workshop as well. After that, we're going out to the West Coast, and it's the CalNARPM local conference, which is April 16th to 18th. And that is in Huntington Beach, California. After that is the event we talked about today, which you guys hopefully now have burned in both your retina and your calendar. And that is May 15th to the 16th down here in Fort Lauderdale. We'll be hosting the first ever inaugural Strategic PM Summit. We hope to see you guys there. And then right after that, the following week, if you want to just stay down here, over in Tampa, Florida, Rentvine is having their user conference in Tampa, which we love those guys and we're excited to support them and see you guys over there as well. So we are in full swing for conference season, and I'm cutting it there because there's many more as we move into May and June. But that's it for us this week. Really appreciate you being here, seeing the scoreboard and all the lessons we learned from last year, and hearing about our vision for this amazing event that we are designing simply for the reason to help you grow your company in a dramatic and strategic way. So thanks for joining in and learning about the latest tips and trends from the top residential property managers in North America. Please be sure to join us every time we go live every other Thursday so that you don't miss your competitive advantage. Check out all the latest going on in property management and get details and show notes about today's show and our guest. Just head over to strategicpm.com. That's strategicpm.com. If there's anything that you think we can help you with at Rentscale, just email us at biz@rentscale.com. We'll see you next time with our latest update on strategic property management. And that's what's happening this week in PM.